Hey everyone, it is another Fan Art Friday again. If you haven't heard from my previous video, which was my first Fan Art Friday that I drew of Anne of Green Gables, basically every Friday I just draw a fan art of a character in my style. So if you would like me to draw one of your favorite characters for next week, please comment. Anyway, for this sketch of it, I planned a smaller little drawing. At first, I used a mechanical pencil, but for the reference, yeah, I did use a reference for the pose, because I'm not good at, making my own poses. I'm still not good at human bodies yet, but I used a reference of a drawing someone did of Spider-Man, specifically Miles Morales. Turns out, if you want to draw Moon Knight, look up Spider-Man references. They're really good. The poses are good, especially like jumping ones, because Moon Knight jumps around a lot. It was a little tricky because Miles was wearing a jacket, so I kind of had to kind of do a lot of guesswork for what the upper body and arms looked like. But anyway, I think with the Moon Knight series, I hit my second wave of, I don't know if I want to say obsession, kind of is. The first wave of, obsession was last month when I first saw it for the first time. And in my second wave right now, because I'm watching it again with my mom, because she hasn't seen it. It's my favorite Marvel series by far, actually. Let me know what your favorite Marvel series is. Some of them I'm kind of disappointed with, but anyway, back to the drawing. I also went in with my Pilot pen. The Pilot pen takes a long time to dry. One time I had to leave for like 20 minutes, and I don't even know if it was completely dry. But I feel like it is worth it because the ink, very dark ink, especially compared to the Micron that I used. I also used a Micron for thicker areas, and that one was kind of gray. So the ink was very dark, and I loved it. And it's also got a small tip for like fine detail. Yeah, and then let's see what else about the movie. I also love the theme music. It's really good. Also, I like the songs that they've been featuring on a couple episodes, like the one song in episode 3. And also the theme is really interesting too, because it's Egyptian themed and stuff like that. And it's where he gets his powers. When I think of Egypt, I think of like bright colors, like yellow and orange in the sun, but this is just like the opposite. It's like dark and the moon, and also the acting is really good, and then the characters are really good too. I think Steven's my favorite. I definitely wouldn't recommend this show to kids though. Probably, I mean, this is just me personally, but I would think 15 and older. There's some intense, like, bloody scenes. So you have to be mature enough to know when to close your eyes or mute the sound. Yeah, there is quite a few parts that are just, like, kind of depressing, too. And then I got out my Ohuhu alcoholic markers. I got my darkest color for the hood. And then my next darkest for, like, around the eyes. And then a lighter Prismacolor one. I love the Prismacolors. For like some shading and stuff. And then I got a super light one, a super light gray for more shading, but it was pretty much dried out. So I had to like squish it, on the paper. And then I got this gold pen that was also dried out too. For like the moon knives, moon knives. And I really like that. It does add a little pop of color. And then I did realize that it did need some contrast, but I wasn't sure where. So I printed it, and I used like 3 test copies. I tried making the cape a darker color because it's like against the moon, because the moon is like the light. So it seemed like under the cape would be dark, but it just looked really weird. And then there was a pic I found of a comic drawing, and they made the cape like pure white, so I really like that. And then I used kind of like a lighter color around the moon to make it look like it was glowing, and then I blended with the darker. But then halfway the dark marker started drying up, and that was kind of annoying because I thought it was pretty juicy at first. So then I had to like switch back and forth between the nibs. But when I was almost done, when I would open the brush lid, like it wouldn't open and it popped out. It like yeah. So I took it to my dad and he was able to do it. And then I used my new Durant pencil that I got from my Scrawler box. You should go see that video if you haven't. I made more of a glow to the moon and then add some stars. I don't know how much of the shading on Moon Knight really makes sense, but it's fine. I think it's okay, and the background really helped to make him pop. For this, I did a lot of fan art. I just got like sucked into drawing. Like I kind of forgot how to stylize people, but I just copied some drawings that people did, and I was like, oh, I remember how to stylize. Also, we have one of these pens that like it's like a secret pen, you don't see it, but then if you flash a light on it, like a blue light, you can see it. So I tried to add like a glow to the moon in the eyes. Kind of worked, but not really. I don't know what's wrong with the pen. But anyway, I hope you like the drawing. I really like it. And I'll see you sometime. And we'll see who I will draw for next week. Goodbye.